Hi guys, and welcome to an All Signs special edition for singles, where we're going to look into the person you will be in a relationship with. Next up, what we're going to do is that we're going to use this new deck I got, which is archetypes, to look into them as a person, right? We're looking into some good traits and then add a little shadow there. Just these are quick readings, okay? We're just going to look into who are they, and we're looking into the next person in a relationship, right? So it may not be the next one that's coming, but it's the relationship. As always, these are general readings. Take what resonate with you, leave behind the rest, never ever force it to fit, and that's it. Yeah, meaning that if you don't like what pops up, then don't make it yours, okay? These are for the fun of it. Let's get to it. Timestamps below. Going from Aries to Pisces. Is it going to be a collective? No collective. All right. By the way, afterwards, I'm doing a karma for your ex, just so you know. If you like the content, please like. I would appreciate your support. Alright, starting with Aries here. Aries, show me the next person in a relationship for Aries here. An engineer. Oh, let's see. Next person here for Aries in a relationship. The next person in a relationship for Aries. Alright. Next person in a relationship for Aries. We have a warrior and a lover. Alright, let's see. Yes, they're going to be a little bit childish. You will struggle a little bit with that. Alright, so let's see about the light attributes. We have the warrior, the lover, and the child orphaned. Right, let me just quickly read you about the warrior, which is someone that has strength, skill, discipline, toughness and will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrificing, conquering the ego. They will have a lot of great passion. They will be, when they have the interest in something, they're gonna go complete awe into it, right? A strong trait of them is that they will have high ethics, meaning that they are, you're gonna love this, right? Because it means that they are not going to trade their ethical principles at any cost, and they are not going to be indifferent towards the suffering that they will inflict on you. So meaning that they could, of course, have bad habits, right? They could have bad habits, but they will not be blind towards how their actions will affect you. They will have learned to let go. They will have the child orphaned as well, right? Meaning that they will be mature. They will have learned to let go. They will have conquered their own fear of having to run every time they are met with something, right? So they will have possibly experienced abandonment issues at some point in time here, but they will have worked on that when they meet you here, right? But I really get the strongest trait here that you will also be very attracted to is their warrior nature. The warrior nature, and that is really what it says. There is strength, skill, and discipline. So when they are caught up by something, they will give it their all. Now, one of the traits about them that you might find a little difficult to deal with. Bloody hell, hope they don't abuse animals or people and the environment. No, I get a little bit that they could be sloth when it comes to, I don't know, maybe they throw their gum into the environment. Maybe they don't like animals. And what I got intuitively was actually maybe they were too. It's either going to be that they are too friendly with animals, not in that way, but that they are. Alright, I'll just say there's something here about the animals, right? Either it's because they are allergic and you want animals, or they have a lot of animals. Aries, it's really. There's something here about the when it comes to animals and environmentalism that the two of you may have disagreements with, right? Maybe you are very strong in environmental causes and they are not. So you will need some adaptation here on that, right? But as I said, it's a reason why I pick up on these, because they are always going to be situations in relationships where we're going to compromise a little bit here. It may, for some of you, be that maybe you have something here with nature and spirituality, and they don't, because they do show up as very masculine energy. But as I said here, they are considerate. So the two of you can absolutely work together. I get as though the two of you will probably come together while you're learning something new in terms of you. You're learning something new, could be in terms of spirituality, but it doesn't have to. It's just you're learning something new. Alright, so we are now on Taurus. The next person in a relationship for Taurus. Show me about that person. The next person in a relationship for the single Taurus out there. Oh. Next person. Oh, my candle. Taurus, my candle went out. Hold on. And we're back. Alright, next person in a relationship here for Taurus. Taurus. Happy birthday again, Taurus. One more. Taurus. Next person in a relationship here for Taurus. Oof. Mentor. Okay, what do we have here? Next person for Taurus. 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 Alright, that really does want to come out here. Ooh. Ooh, Taurus. Alright. Alright. Let's get to it. As I said, I pull up both the positive traits of them, right? You know, the strong ones. And then I also pull upon a trait that you might find a little difficult to deal with. Because that's how relationships are. We have here servant, seeker, and addict. What does that mean? Let me tell you. You will find someone here who puts a delight in serving others and has a free and loving heart. Right? Meaning that they give willingly. They may be a servant, or they may be in a job where they give services, right? To be servant, that you know what, you get to define that for yourself. It's just, you know, they could be working in the service industry, and that is a broad category, right? But it's more that of they find delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. So for some of you, they may also, you know, you might really enjoy that they will bring you tea when you are sick or something like that. Look at her, right, bringing that tea there. So that will most likely, I can imagine this aligning good with Taurus, which is they will find delight in possibly also cooking for you, but not because, you know, it's not about, you know, because they are pleasers. That's not what I'm picking up on here. But they are kind, and they really find enjoyment. It's part of the traits is that they like to be of service to other people. Some people are like that. They are also a seeker, so they have a thirst for wisdom and truth. No matter where they are always looking for new paths of information. So for some here, that's the thing. You might actually have someone who could be easily misunderstood by others, because, you know, they might, for some people here, they could look at them and say, why are they not moving forward with life? Why can't they stick to a path? But that's not what I pick up with them. I pick up on someone very kind and very feminine also in a way, that really likes to work with people. They may even work with people who have addictions, right? But what they they have a strong skill here of helping other people recognize and confront addictive behaviors. For some of you, they could be that they had forms of addictions themselves previously, and that does not have to, you know, addictions could be just bad habits. Maybe they lost weight, or maybe they had bad just patterns in general. It doesn't have to be like alcohol or drugs, right? But they just have this capacity here of helping possibly also you recognize your own addictive patterns and then help you confront it, right? But they do so very kindly. I really pick up on a kindness here. Now, what you might struggle a little bit with this person is that they do, because they have this, I almost want to say Pisces energy about them, because they have this giving nature to them. They can possibly be prone to escapism and false sense of heroism, and that has got to be something they probably this is not something that I mean, I can get annoyed by this shadow attribute as well. Escapism and a false sense of heroism. It's wanting to be the hero for everyone. So this person, yeah, but you know, when we look at what they have as a strength, is that they are capable of dealing with addictive patterns, right? So they also have that within themselves, because there's no doubt that they possibly have a little bit of a pleaser in them, but they recognize that, and they are able to work on that, right? But I get a youthful energy, meaning that the curiosity here, the curiosity within them, and are very curious. They're very, very curious. Right, but that's the next one. But I could, yeah. For some of you, you could possibly have a few clashes here in terms of how helpful this person is, right? Meaning that so they don't overstep boundaries. But if they are really, if they are balanced, right, they will be able to do that. So now we move on to Gemini. Gemini, next person in a relationship here for Gemini. Next person in a relationship here for Gemini. Next person in a relationship for Gemini. Next person in a relationship here for Gemini. The next person here in a relationship for the Geminis. The Geminis. The next person in a relationship. The next person in a relationship here. Two more. Next person in a relationship for you. The next person in a relationship for the Geminis. Next person in a relationship for the Geminis. Gemini. Alright, let's start by seeing Geminis. Next person in a relationship here. Oof. Oof. Also, okay. Oh dear Lord. Gemini, what the hell are you attracting? Alright. I really get... Alright, I'm going to repeat this. What I do here... We should have said that to begin with. We're starting to look into what, you know, some of the... you know, the core good traits here, right? Good traits. And then we look into one of the shadow traits that may be an annoyance to you, but they are always there, right? As always compromises. We have here companion, servant, and priest. So they are very loyal. They have a strong tenacity, and they are unselfish. They have a delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, and they facilitate... Yeah, let's go into this priest here. Right, for some of you, they could be a priest, but what I really get here with the priest is that they have a position in the community, meaning that they're almost like an advisor here. They have that priest job position about it. Not that they are a priest, right? Really strong, but it has something to do with how they facilitate. I mean, it's almost like they facilitate contracts or something like that. I get as though they may be in a good position, but they do deliver a lot to other people. They're also very kind and caring. All right, Gemini. Okay, I'm just right. For some of you, you are actually attracting someone here who is a little bit of a spiritual guru, or something like that. They don't have to be, but they have a lot of that. What they give, they give something here of themselves. I really get as though they facilitate commitments, like they could be working in networks or something like that, or you know, I get as though they probably also talk a lot. There's something about them, you know, bringing people together, a hostess or something like that. But other than that, maybe you might actually really like that. They have that about them. But first and foremost, what is important here is that they are loyal. With the companion, they are loyal. Gemini, they are loyal. They are a good friend to you. they are also very unselfish. But you know, that also what I pick up on here, what may be one of the traits that can annoy you a little bit, is that them waiting around here for someone to come and save them, that could be there. They may have sometimes few unrealistic expectations to romance and to love. It wouldn't surprise me if you're getting a little water sign here. They don't have to be, they could just be very young. I really guess that they are they have some, they are in some sort of position where they communicate, and they really give a lot of themselves. But there's something here about them where sometimes they could be looking outside themselves for confirmation, and that their confidence level, their self-esteem here, is probably something they should work on. And also not that they have that low self-esteem, it's just they have this dreaminess about them where they can be seduced by romantic illusions, right? And similar to the Taurus, this person also probably got to learn here to set some proper boundaries or be better at it, right? Because they can give too much. So that's something not to be taken advantage of, right? But they do have passion within them for moving ahead, but not in a way where it is, you know, they don't walk all over people. They are very kind as well. So that was a funny person here. I really get water sign there, Gemini. So, but it don't have to be. It's just because it was that's. I mean, it could also be Earth. Right? But let's see. What do we have here for the Cancerians, the next person in a relationship? For the Cancerians, the next person in a relationship. The next person in a relationship with the Cancerians. The next person in a relationship with the Cancerians. The next person in a relationship with the Cancerians. Alright. Cancer. Show me the Cancerians here. Next person. A monk. Right. No, we're gonna tell more. And a hedonist. Two complete opposites. And gossip. Alright. Alright. Okay, you know what? Let's just get to it. Feels though I'm gonna repeat myself. We're looking into like the positive aspects here, and then we also have one shadow because nothing's perfect, right? There are always compromises. We have here the monk, which is a selfless devotion, a single-mindedness. Yeah, alright, let me give you that. I feel as though they are very much driven by their senses. With the hedonist here, very much driven by their senses and their feelings. They are possibly also very sensitive. I gotta say, they can be very, very sensitive. That's probably something here to can annoy you. Let me tell you that. But they have the artist in them, even though the artist is not here. Pick up on that. They like to. They are very earthy. Like I get with the head on it here. I get screaming Taurus energy. In that they like to be surrounded by physical beauty. Do you know what I mean? It's just that is what I mean here is that when they, for instance, if they are handed here a something with alpaca in it, they will really just touch it. Really, they're very sensual beings, is what I'm getting here, Cancer. Very sensual beings, and they really appreciate beauty. So they may be touchy, and they may also be, yeah, they can be a little bit indulgent, but not in a way where it becomes negative, right? They don't. They will just really appreciate beauty. So if you buy a new dress or a new suit or something, you can absolutely expect them to compliment you on that, because they appreciate beauty. And not to say that they are, idiots or anything. It's just that they appreciate the small beauty beauty in every day, right? It doesn't really matter what it is. If it's just the sun is shining or the clouds have a particular color, they will appreciate that. They will point that out. That is it. And they like the good things in life as well. They do that. They have strong earth about them. Taurus, Virgo here. They are very focused. They can dedicate themselves to tasks in their life, and when they set their mind on something, they go for it. They can be hyper focused sometimes, meaning that they have a strong dedication. But that also means that I really also get that they're very sensual, right? I really get also in bed they will definitely dedicate attention there. So, but yeah, they are a really strong earth sign here, Taurus, Virgo here. They are also very considerate of your feelings here. They can be a little sensitive to gossip, right? I really get strong Taurus also that they may like to talk a little bit. They like probably sit down when they come home and have a little talk about absolutely nothing, chit chat. But they really do not betray trust. They do not, and they actually can be very sensitive to it. It wouldn't surprise me if they had that trust broken at some point. Then what you may not really like that much is that they can sometimes get a little addicted to their own self-pity. Right? They can make themselves a little bit of a martyr sometimes. I mean that, also they may also have Cancer in their chart, but it's not the end of it, right? It's just that sometimes they can complain a little bit, but then probably you can too, right? Cancer, I not met a Cancer that cannot complain a little bit sometimes. Maybe they thought they were going to be somewhere else or something like that, but I don't really get it being that bad here, right? It might be that they sometimes they give themselves too much to something, and then when it doesn't go in their favor because they probably forgot to spread out their attention, and then if they didn't really reach that goal, they can get a little, it didn't work. Yeah, but you should probably have spread out your attention here. But it's not a bad thing. It's just they are very dedicated. They are very dedicated, and they will give a lot of themselves as well, right? That's it. I mean, in bed, they're probably very, very, very dedicated as well. I don't get any cheating there at all. Not at all. It's just they are absolutely physical also. Even though they may be private about it, they are, but they are dedicated. Alright, so we have now very much. Let's get out of that one. So let's get into Leo. Next person here for the Leos. Next person here for the Leos. Next person here for the Leos in a relationship for the Leos. Next person 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 in a relationship here for the Leos. Next person in a relationship with the Leos. Leo. Alright, Leo, let's look into your person here, the next one in a relationship for you. A Fool. And a Lover. A Love Fool. And a Prostitute. No, alright, I'm gonna explain that. Hold on. Oh yeah, I love that. I love it. I love it when the prostitute would show up. I was just waiting for it. The prostitute, I'm just... When is Don Juan gonna show up? Alright, what do we have next? We have to liberate them. Okay, okay. So as I should have said to begin with, we start by looking into you. I pull out the positive. Alright, I also pull out a shadow here because you know what we always did. let's just be realistic. There's always be something about a person that we're a little bit, like, a little annoyed about, but not, you know, the end of the world or something. It's just, you know, it's called living together, okay? Fool, lover, and prostitute. They are going to have... Let me show you here. Stop, I show you the prostitute. Alright. They will have a... wow. They will really, really be funny. They will be funny. They will have good humor. They will help. They will probably be a little bit sarcastic here. But they will also possibly reveal their emotions through humor. They probably have sarcasm. They could communicate through sarcasm here. But as I'm going to read what it said. Fearlessly revealing emotion. Helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Alright. Gonna go back to that because there's something here about the way that they use humor that's probably also gonna annoy you a little bit. But they are funny. They will make you laugh. And they will also have very great passion. You will love this. They will be very great passion, very high devotion. And when, I swear to God, when they find something that they are into, they will be dedicated, they will be overflow, right? They will be in awe of it. So you will possibly get that compliments, is right? If you show up in a new dress or a new suit or whatever, and they see it, they will nap, right? They will get you that attention, right? And with the prostitute here is that they will accentuate the challenges of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. That is that they will know who they are. They will have as a prostitute. I love the prostitute energy because the prostitute has a lot to do with that they know who they are. They know when to... They know how to negotiate, right? They may piss you off sometimes here because they will be very independent. Meaning that they will be very, very strong-willed, and they will be able to debate you. Basically, they will in that they will be willing to find solutions with you in terms of your relationship and move forward. But they will not, and they will make compromises, but not in a way where they give too much of themselves. They will have a strong idea, a strong sense of when to say stop. Alright? And they are not really interested in the material either. They may not be that. They may be far more interested in the softer values of life. What could annoy you with them is the liberator. And that is... They can... Right, they may, I mean, there might be a little bit of drama here between the two of you, but it's a good drama. Meaning that you would probably... I can feel that you will be able to handle it. Right, because it is one of those, you know... only way I can describe it is that Leo will probably thrive on a little bit on it. Because it's that they are very strong-willed and you're strong-willed. So what you will be annoyed is that they may sometimes come off as though they're trying to free some kind of an outdated thinking. But in doing so, you may experience that they are then placing their new thought system or their new idea onto you. Let's say that they just decided to go vegan, and then you have to go vegan, right? That those are that you will have those small power struggles there, and then they can sometimes use sarcasm a little bit on it. But as I said, I see the two of you being able to agree to disagree, and then the makeup will probably be fun. So you know, I'm seeing a ping pong here. I see a very strong and exciting personality, Leo, for you. I mean, they will keep you up on your toes, that is for sure. They will keep you guessing. They're not boring at all. So, and they're very funny. They are funny, which annoys you, but you will love that about them as well. So that what we have about Leo here. And I still get that there's going to be room for agreeing to disagreeing. But the two of you, I mean, you both very strong-willed. All right, so we are now on to Virgo. Virgo, the next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. The next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. The next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. All right, Virgo. The next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. Virgo. The next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. The next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. The next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. The next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. The next person Virgo will be in a relationship with. The single ones here. The next person Virgos will be in a relationship with. All right. Virgo. All right, show me Virgo. Don Juan. I loved it. So Leo got the prostitute, you get Don Juan. I'm gonna explain it to you in a minute. And a hermit. And the warrior. Came out in reverse. Alright, so what I'm going to do is that I have pulled out 3 traits here to look into basic, the good stuff and all that about them, right? And then I have one that is a challenge, a shadow trait, because, let's face it, we all do compromises, right? We have here Don Juan, Hermit, and the Warrior. First thing that strikes me is all these earthy colors, right? Then you had one come out in reverse, which is Shapeshifter. So there's something interesting here for you, Virgo. Right, let's start by looking into the positive here. Don Juan is that they spotlight your positive seductive qualities. The next one you will be in a relationship with here. Okay. I'm deciding to go with the good one. Virgo, I am seeing someone here who is a bit of a flirt, okay? They do sometimes have a tendency to they can take on an image that may not be who they truly are. I'm just saying it, Virgo. They may have that Don Juan shapeshifter in that, they will make you feel very, very sexy. Very, very sexy. And they do also have this, they have a skill about them. And I really get this mutable energy about them that they can adapt. They are a survivor. Right? So it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere, first and foremost, it wouldn't surprise me if they had Virgo in them. But it wouldn't surprise me that if they somewhere down the line a long time ago was hit on their root chakra, and by that I just means that they have maybe they didn't grow up in an environment that felt safe, or they have something here about them that makes them, they have learned to adapt. All right, to take on images, or not images, to project any image that serve a personal agenda at that moment. Yes, it does actually sound a little bad here, but you know what? For those of you who are not going, let's take on the positive here, right? Because there's also a good, there are good connection in this as well. It just means it's someone who, they're not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy. I would really like to learn more about this. Yeah, meters. They are alright. And a positive here is that they can take this power that they have, which is that of being mutable, that they can take on different phases. They may be Pisces, meaning that's what I always associate with Pisces energy or Gemini energy. All the mutable, they can do this, but especially Pisces, they have this, sweet little goldfish shark. But what they can is that they can use this skill in terms of their business. Right? They may be very entrepreneurial. They may be able to turn things into gold because of it, Virgo. I mean, for God's sake, they could be a bloody dating coach. Alright, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just that they are a dating coach. There's just some very seductive. There's something very seductive about them. Other than that, they sometimes seek solitude to focus intently on inner life and serve personal creativity. So they also withdraw quite a lot. But on a good note, they have a warrior within them, right? So you're probably getting. It's a bit of a workaholic, but also I really get someone who's very introspective. It screams Virgo, doesn't it, Virgo? Someone who's very introspective. So if you are introvert, and you appreciate you having your times alone, this is the perfect partner, because they will also withdraw once in a while. Maybe if it's just going to their office or something like that, and then they dedicate themselves, right? They are very skilled. They're very intelligent, by the way. And with the warrior is that I'm gonna read this. They have strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, stoicism, whatever, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. They probably have something about them that's not always good, but they will know this, and they will then withdraw and work on themselves. As I said, they may have been wounded of that sense of safety somewhere down the line. But as it says here, that they seek solitude to focus intently on inner life, which by the way also serves their creativity. So they probably have, they use this to go in and find new ideas. They get introverted in that way, or very workaholic, very creative as well. They have this artist about them, yeah. But that gives them skill and discipline, so they do want to work on themselves. But they can also come out completely. It wouldn't. They can be in Scorpio also. They have this regenerative energy about them. Right. So I can understand if to begin with they would look at what. I can't count on them. They have many different faces. It's not so much that would be what you would be triggered by with them, but it might be that they are just very. They are very fiercely independent, and I don't really get as though they are not. I don't pick up on them being manipulative. I pick up on them being just by nature used to playing different roles in life, and sometimes they get probably stimulated and then overstimulated, and then they need to take a break here, and they are always working on themselves as well. They do have integrity, and they, by the way, will also make you feel extremely sexy. And that might be what you can find like a mask, like they can be on and then suddenly not. Maybe they just got lost in a book of, that's book written by Barney Stinson or something. All right, let's see. For bad habit in terms of how to treat women. No, I just get that they are very charming. All right, we are now on to Libra. And I'm already sleepy. Dang it. Libra. What do we have for the Libra? The person here for Libra. That is fucking insane. Every time I go to Libra, I'm about to fall asleep. Libra and person for them in a relationship. Libra and the person they will be next in a relationship. The single Libras here in a relationship. The Libras here. Libra. I'm 100% that bitch. Libra. We have a servant. That servant really does show up for people, doesn't it? And then we have a judge. And we have an advocate. So, could be working in the legal system. There are apparently two not so positive traits that you don't like, okay? What we're looking into is that we're starting by looking into the positive traits. I have pulled one shadow, but in your case 2 shadow traits, because we just have to look into, you know, both sides of this flip coin. We have the servant, the judge, and the advocate as what is très très bien. This. So this is a person who actually finds delight in being of service to other people, and they do so with a free and loving heart. They could be working in the service industry. They could be a judge or an advocate. They could look judge and advocate together. They may, funny enough, they may live up to that judgment. No, to the what the hell is that? Not judgment, justice. You know, could be working in the justice system. Anyway, a judge. They have a balanced justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power, and inspire you to put compassion into action. In all cases, what they do have that Libra energy within them that would then stimulate you, right? In that they can look at things from both sides. Wow. So I was just looking at something here. But they are very, very fair. They will be a big cheerleader. They may not be the most emotional. Of course they could, but you know what I'm seeing here is that one of the traits about them that you will like is that they will believe in you. They will believe in you, and they will inspire you to take action, because you will be able to come home and give you just, you know, speak. You know, say this happened, this happened, this happened. They will be able to listen to you and possibly even provide you with a different perspective. And then, you know, you can pinpoint it, give them information, they can reflect it back to you. And then through that conversation, you will be inspired into putting your own compassion into action. And they are also like that, by the way. They really, when they have a cause, they will fight for that cause, but not so much as, no, they're not a rebel, they are an advocate. They advocate, okay? And they are very fair. They are also very balanced in themselves, in their own life. So they can balance their work with their family life, romance, children. Very, very, very stable energy. But as I said, they really like to be of service to other people. But what I get here with them is that their service is that they listen and give advice. And then definitely with the judge here, they can also take action. They will also make decisions. What you will sometimes find a little annoying with them is that they have the slave and the storyteller. I was just looking at the servant and the slave together. I mean, all right, I'm just gonna, you know, I'm not gonna go in all that, but you can say, you know, these two together, or I don't know. I just got this story, like a long story. If there's something that would, if that energy would resonate with you, you would be able to pick up on it, and that would be there. It would just be something that's important. For this could actually be someone who works for civil rights. Anyway, we have here what you could be annoyed is that sometimes they can. Sometimes they could also have that Libra energy in them that sometimes they don't want to make a decision. Right. They actually have strong Libra energy in them also, in that they can be passive aggressive. I get the lawyer in them. They know how to make up stories. They know how to construct, let's say like that. They know how to construct a narrative that will benefit some, while possibly harming or at the expense of others. And they probably do not, they will not enjoy being told that they are, I want to say weak, but you know, if you were to find yourself in an argument with them, and you would be a little bit you would possibly be annoyed in that they are so much of service to other people. They can possibly be too kind and caring and giving, right? And you will then point it out. They can go no, and they will make up stories as to, I don't know, something why they are not that, right? It's not a bad thing. It's not gaslighting or anything. It's that you could be annoyed by them that they give too much. They are too much of service to other people. And then they will find a story that maybe they tell you that they have to do it because of, I don't know, to altruism and God or something like that, right? They could be slave to a belief system that you disagree with, when maybe they have to give too much of themselves. Maybe they're part of the AA or whatever they call, where you have to do some steps or something like that, right? It's not a big deal. It's just you might be disagreeing with how much they can sometimes give of themselves, especially also if they heal, right? And then you're like, no, you don't have to give so much, and then that could be a disagreement, right? But it's not, break up reason or anything. Even healthy relationships have disagreements. So now we are on to Scorpio. The next relationship here for Scorpio. The next relationship for Scorpio. The next relationship for Scorpio. The next relationship for Scorpio here. Single Scorpios. The next relationship for the 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 Scorpios. Much better. Not better, but still working. Alright, forget it. I got dizzy there. Okay, literally. It's been a crazy day today, Scorpio. So, next relationship for the Scorpios. Scorpio. Alright, let's pull out. So, Scorpio's next relationship here. Alright, what we do here is that we start by looking into 3 traits that are amazing, that's what I'm rooted in, right? We look into the person, and then we have 1 trait that's a shadow trait, because let's just face it, there's always compromises in connections. There will always be something that annoys you, even if it's just that they don't pick up their socks, so they sleep with their socks on. I don't know. Something. Let me see here. We have Judged, Fool, and the Martyr. So the Judge, they know they're very balanced, right? The Judge, they are very balanced in what they do. They could, of course, be working as a judge. This doesn't really, not really picking up on that. They know how to deal with constructive criticism. They have balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. So they basically just gonna be able to agree to disagree and look at both sides of a case. And they also know how to bring balance between their work, their personal life, private life, family, children, whatever. They are very balanced. They give equally. So that's a good thing. And they're also very funny. Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. I cannot express anything. I cannot pronounce that. Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Being a hypocrite, like that. So they're very funny. They have a good humor, and they may even express their emotions through a little bit of sarcasm, or they know how to laugh at themselves, right? So if they get a little dramatic, or if they, if they're sad, but they're not because they're mocking their emotions. They just have this capacity at talking about it, talking about their emotions, and then at the same time, go over deep subjects and then laugh and then say, okay, let's look at the positive here. They're good humored, But also they will reveal their emotions. Very expressive as well, by the way. And then we have the martyr, which is leaving the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. I hate the martyr card, but you know, at least it's pinky purple, and then we can agree on that color. It's pink here on the screen. It's purple when it's out here. It's pink. It's purple. Pink, purple. Oh my god, sorry. The martyr there. Show me the martyr. It's a virgin. Are you getting a virgin? Maybe, you know what I get here? I love this. You might get someone here who like to tell you that they are virgin. You know, not because they're lying, but you know. Come on, who hasn't? It's fun. It's fun. Not because it's a lie. It's just, you know, if someone here comes and, you know, every evidence says that they're not. But you're like, but I'm a virgin. No, you're not. But I am. Anyway, you know. But martyr, they have a very sweet-hearted nature about them. The martyr and the virgin makes them very idealistic. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or cause. They don't give in to self-pity. Holy shit, I swear to God, for all the signs that I read for, I'm actually picking up, whenever I pick on the person you will end up with, they have your sun sign in them. You're no exception here. Well, anyway, they're not prone to self-pity. They will take those, if they find themselves going into self-pity, they will catch themselves at it, not mock their emotions, but they will take on a positive attitude that's healthy, and they will use possibly humor to transcend, right? So they don't fall into self-pity. They're not self-pity. And that gives them this compassionate nature as well. They have this virgin with it as well. They are maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. They are very gentle also in lovemaking. They may be, they may not want to throw themselves into bed with you to begin with. Right? They may have put a transcendent nature onto to intimacy. They may do that, and yeah, for some people it really matters. Right? Where it's not just about, you know, sex. There's something more to it. It's the intimacy, right? It's more than sex for them. When you become intimate, it's intimacy. What you can sometimes be annoyed by them is the destroyer. But this is strong Scorpio. What you can be annoyed is that they can be intoxicated with destructive power and destroying other streams of potential. No, let's not go that. They have this Scorpio regenerative energy with them as well. And they can, by the way, they can also have a temper. I just looked at that volcano. They can have a fucking temper. And that's why it's probably very good that they have this capacity here of diving into their emotions and deal with it if they have a temper. They can be, I really get that they can have a destroying temper, meaning that, you know, not they are violent. I mean, they just may go for a run or box or something like that. They can have a temper. But they are also, sometimes there's something here about their temper they gotta work with so they don't destroy themselves. It sounds a bit crazy, but no, harsh it's not. It's that, right? When the destroyer's light, it can release what is potentially destructive, so they can prepare oneself for a new life. That's the destroyer energy. That's the capacity to let go. This person may not be that good at letting go, and they can be angered when they are being told to let go. You know. That can then, for instance, lead into arguments about change. Not that they don't have it within them, they just... show me more about that. Yeah, Alchemist. Yeah, there's something here about the way that they deal with power. Right? They have this wonderful, compassionate nature about them. So this is just sometimes, if I really get it, if they're in a bad mood, they are really... Forget Scorpio, Cancer right now. They're in a bad mood. Doesn't have to be. This can just be strong earth signs as well. But they can be stubborn as fuck, and that temperament there. They can sometimes say things that can feel a little, can feel rough. And I can see why Scorpio will be able to deal with this, because they can say harsh things and not. I don't feel as though it's awful or anything, but they can, if they are triggered, they can be mean, but also they will apologize. It's not because they're a bad person, because when we look here, they have so much positive about them. It's just they have a temper, right? They struggle a little bit with letting go. Yeah. It's because they probably have very, very high demands to themselves. They like to make them to think of themselves as very, very important, right? So they are possibly a little immature in that. They probably should learn a little bit here to learn to live with not being the center of the world. Sounds harsh, but it's more of that you know. Let's say like when you realize that the world does not spin around you, life becomes easier. Let's say like that. It's like the world will not crash and burn if you don't show up for work one day. Not if you manage to delegate your work process, but some people, they like to feel important, and then they take on and take on and take on, and then they can burn themselves out. The moment you realize that yes, you are important, but you know, life will still continue. Stop taking oneself as serious, right? So they have this fixed or earth in them, but that could make them annoying sometimes, right? Dang it, they could be a bloody Capricorn. Alright, so we are now on to Saggy. The person Saggy will be in a relationship with. The person Saggy will be in a relationship with. Next. The person Saggy will be in a relationship with next. The person Saggy will be in a relationship with next. Dang it. The person Saggy will be in a relationship with next. The person Saggy will be in a relationship with next. I'm just sitting here counting. How much do we need? There's 4 left, right? Okay, I can do this. I can do this. 4 left. Saggy, next person for you. Saggy. Yes. Show me the Saggy. Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna turn on the light. Better. Saggy. Show me who will Saggy be in a relationship with next. I just went over that one. Alright. That servant keeps popping up. And Don Juan. Alright, what we have here, what we're gonna do here, Saggy, is we start by looking into the overall traits of, you know, the good ones, right? The good stuff. And then we have a shadow trait because we all have it. It's always going to be one little thing here, at least one, that sometimes will annoy you about your partner. It's called living together in twosomeness. If twosomeness is a word that you have in English. Right, we have the destroyer, the child of nature, and dilettante as the positive. So let's go over those at first. Your first person will first and foremost be able to release what is potentially destructive, so they prepare themselves for new life. They could have strong Scorpio in them, right? They don't have to. It's just they're very powerful. They know how to break shit down and build things up again. But that can also, I mean, as I said, you might appreciate this because that means that they are ready for new. They're ready for new. They can let go. But they are probably, they can have a personality of a destroyer, meaning that they can be a little bulldozer sometimes, but little bulldozer. They can be a big bulldozer. But, you know, they definitely have that fire in them. They could be a fire sign, Scorpio fire sign here. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a fire here for you. Possibly with Scorpio in them, but strong fire. They are also very good with animals. They have a strong contact with animals. That's really that simple. Communication with nature, spirits. I really guess though they're really fond of animals. And nature itself. Hold on. So your reading's got disrupted twice here. Now, as I said, they could have a strong bond with animals. They could actually be a veterinarian. But they also have a strong inner toughness. I really get that. They are, actually they could have all signs in them. They are very solid. Very grounded. They also have a temperament. But they're ready for change, and they could be working with animals. They could actually be a veterinarian. Or at least they have this strong connection with them, right? They also delight in the arts without having to be a professional. Alert you to the dangers. Yeah, they could definitely. I really get strong fire signs here for you right now, in that they are very, very curious. They could have this wanting to speak up, but they don't really do it. I mean, they might have been, I don't know, they may want to speak, I don't know, something about bullies here. I don't, I get a very young energy, by the way, meaning that you might come, it might be someone who's just starting to wake up, if you know what I mean. They have a very they have a sweetness to them. They want to speak up and do the right thing, but they may just be learning to it, right? They should probably, I mean, I actually guess that they could be, for some of you, Sagittarius, this is a student, right? I get a very young energy for some of you, Sagittarius. I'm gonna do another one because I'm picking up on a very, very young energy right now, meaning that, you know, early 20s. Or mid-20s, early 20s, mid-20s, because it is someone here who's just about to start to speak up. They're very tough. They have an inner toughness. They want to bring destruction, to bring something up new here, but they still they have this about them that they should very much be aware that they you can always actually sense it here, that they follow through on what it is that they start. And I really get these, like, can I really call it a wannabe social fighter, but then they pull back. They want to push and then they pull back. So that's why I get this young nature. And I'm gonna do another one here for you, because this was a very young one. And with this person here, what could be annoyance with this person is that they don't really take those steps, right? It's almost, they could be wanting to be an actor, an actress, but they're doing waitress and they don't really take those chances, right? So they can sometimes block themselves, but they are, this is a young energy, right? So it's not to say that they won't get it, because I get a strong inner fire in them, right? It's just a young energy. So it would be I mean, the person coming together with this, unless you are into the very young ones, right? But it is one of those that, no, this person would also be with it. These are two young ones, all right? So they will probably be aligned. It would be, you know, those relationships you have college or around that age, even earlier, when you're just about to come out into adulthood, right? So let's do one for you adults there. So Sagittarius, the other groups of Sagittarius. Alright, what do we have for you? We have an advocate. It's the same. Same the dilettante. Alright, actually it is a bit about the same. I just really got an older group here. We have advocate, we have dilettante, and we have martyr. Alright, forget it. It could actually be the same. But it's still very young. Alright, it is very young. For some of you, it could be that this youngness stems from them just taking on a new career path. With the advocate, they do inspire you to put action in, to put compassion into action. As I said, they have something here they fight for. They will advocate for it. They do delight in, I mean, they could be a Gemini. They do delight in taking on a lot of different projects here. They could have superficial knowledge sometimes. Right? There's nothing wrong with being a dilettante. They're very good for chit-chat. Dilettante is not the same as the artist. It's that of, you know, wanting to, they take on a lot of different things. They learn a lot quickly. Don't really go into the root of it, right? For instance, it's like handing in an assignment that you read service level the book versus having to spend I don't know a few years researching into a topic, right? That's when you then come out and it's on the back of the spine. That's the dilettante. That is, you know, delighting in the arts without having to be a professional. I mean, they could also just have something on the side, right? The artistic on the side. But it is that, you know, one where they have so many things going for them. They have a lot going on here, and they still, you know, dedicate themselves to a path here. So they don't kind of find escapism in whatever, you know, superficial pursuit they start engaging with. But yeah, you know what? They do also have this lightness about them, in that they want to learn possibly about spirituality or something like that. It's just very light-hearted, right? It's a, maybe you with someone here who's just learning to be a healer or wanting to be a healer, but they advocate for something. It's just very newness, right? I mean, they could, you know, they have this a little bit all over the place. There's nothing bad about the energy, right? It has this light-heartedness about it. It's just, you know, you know, I gotta also be careful here, because I'm reading it as a Capricorn, right? An old Capricorn, and I'm like, okay. But, you know, that's what we have for you. So now we have the Capricorn. They were a good person, Saggy. They were a good person. Very, very good. Very wanting, eager, very fighting, very good for... They were good for a Sagittarius, let me say it like that. They were good for the Sagittarian energy. Because they were very interesting. You would never ever be bored in conversation with them. The two of you could absolutely, you know, stop, start a new project all the time. So, we now have the Capricorns. What do we have for the Capricorn single? The next stop in a relationship for the Capricorns. Next stop in a relationship for the Capricorns. Next stop in a relationship for the Capricorns. Next stop in a relationship for the Capricorns here. Cappy. Alright, Midas. Capricorn. Next stop here. For the next relationship for the Capricorns, we have a networker. Comes being all purple. Alright, let's get it out. We have a networker. We have a hermit. And we have a prince. And here we have a shapeshifter. Alright, what we start by doing is that we look into 3 wonderful traits, right? That's the core. We base it in this. And then we have 1 shadow trait, because, as I have said so many times already, let's face it, when we, you know, there's always going to be at least 1 trait that's going to be a little, yeah, but not that it's going to be the end of it, right? And the shapeshifter shows up for a lot of them, which is that of projecting any image that serves your personal agenda at that moment. Voila. Right, let's see. We have networker, hermit, and the prince. We have angel underneath. Okay, the prince and the king. All right, let's get to it. With the networker, we have here enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So saw the cat laying out there in the sun. Dear Lord. All right. So right, the networker. Enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. I really get it, though. You might actually end up with someone who has a big circle of acquaintances, and then they have the hermit. They seek solitude to focus intently on life and serves personal inner creativity, and they have romantic charm and potential for power. This is someone I pick up that could first and foremost be very much alcoholic. Not alcoholic, workaholic. God damn it. Alcoholic, are you mad? No, they're absolutely nothing but that. They may like a little scotch and whiskey there, but they're not alcoholic. No. But they I guess though they are someone who communicates. They are, as I said, I get someone who's in a big. They work in a position where they have to deal with a lot of people. So and then where they share information, that networker there. I just get that they're busy. And then sometimes they take a step back here and focus on themselves. It's like they go a lot to their office, right? there's something about them. It's because they are working their way upwards. As a Capricorn, you will probably appreciate that. They are about to take on a position here. They could sometimes think very highly of themselves because they are about to go somewhere. They're going from a prince into a king. Man, woman doesn't matter here. It's just someone here who is... I mean, the prince can sometimes be... the prince is someone who is about to reach a position of power. The prince has to be careful because the prince can become a fucking prick. That's that high school jock, right? That, you know, where, you know, arrogance is definitely one to look out for. Meaning that they most likely have it in them. I pick up they do have arrogance as a trait. They may not live it out, but they have it, right? They can... I mean, they have a potential for power, is really what I'm getting. They have a potential for power. Meaning that they have a potential to take on a good position in life. They may have people here who believe in them. Could, like, you know, a family that sometimes could have pressured on. Yeah, show me more about the prince there. The mystic. I mean, I actually get good energies here, right? I actually get good energies. There's something that they fight for. They just have people believe in them. Don't have to be their family, but they have... There's some cause that they believe in. And that's why they sometimes will draw back a little bit from you and focus on constructing that, on putting it into words. Because they are going somewhere, Cappy. They could be a public speaker. Or they have that, right? Engender social awareness and empathy, enhances unity through the sharing of information. Could be a teacher, not so much teacher. It's just, yeah. They speak truth. A networker there. Alright, well, what will you not be so fond of about them? That they shapeshift. Oh my god, I feel as though we could do these once in a while, these look into them so we can learn more about, you know. I think these are interesting. You will not be so fond of them being a shapeshifter. They will, as I said, project any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. I just hear someone say, politician. Yeah, no. But no, they are just, as I said, they are very skilled. They are very, very skilled. And that's also that's why this prince, there's something about this person here. I mean, I get that they are very intelligent. You're choosing to be in a relationship with them, right? So they're not that bad, but I'm still... I mean, that prince is something that screams at me. Let's look up that prince. I want to look up, sorry, I just want to quickly look it up. The prince. As I said here, true prince is a ruler in training who serves the people who he will lead someday, whether in literal, figurative, or spiritual. It has the characteristics of generosity, fairness, compassion, and wisdom. Should be well, right? Shows here can be a manifest. It is someone here who's preparing for leadership, as I said, in some area or another. And in that, the road there, this person gotta be careful not to sometimes fall into becoming a prick. You know what I mean? Especially, I really get as though they're talented, which is probably also what you will find extremely sexy, because they are talented at something, right? It's a Capricorn thing. It's a Capricorn. It's just like catnip for Capricorn's talents, right? Catnip. Yeah, it's a Capricorn catnip. Someone who has something that they can turn into something. But if they then have people there saluting them, standing there, golden child, keep them grounded. Maybe that's where the Capricorn comes in, right? And that's also why I see here they have this hermit in them. They seek solitude once in a while. So they don't lose that footing. But you will still be annoyed at the shapeshifter. Yep, so you will be annoyed at... yeah, you will be annoyed at their... sometimes... them being on a high horse. You will be annoyed by them. at certain times. So that was the Capricorn. So now we have the Aquarius. Next person up here for a relationship for the Aquarius. Next person in a relationship for Aquarius. Next person up 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 in a relationship here for Aquarius. Next person up in a relationship here for Aquarius. I'm 100%. That song is just in me today. I'm still doing the karma readings afterwards when I figure out how to do them. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch. Yes, I am. Alright, Aquarius. Aquarius. No. Aquarius. Messiah. That's not a good one to get for the Aquarius. Oh, let's get here. What do we have? We have a king. Ruled in his empty seat. And we have an alchemist. Gets lost in the forest. And we have a cemeterian. Llama? I don't know. Alright, let's see. What do we have? Not so positive. A hedonist. Okay, awesome. Let's get to it. In case you didn't know already, I have pulled 3 cards to look into the goodness, right? The cool, the awesome traits. And then, of course, always a shadow trait, because, let's face it, Aquarius. There's always going to be one, yeah, but which we learn to live with, or we work with, because, you know, it's called being in a relationship, right? A real one. With the king and alchemist. That was mean, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's just, it's good for the first months, and then comes reality, and there's always those socks that float around on the floor. At the table, yeah, sometimes the table. No. The king, the alchemist, and the cemeterian. The king has the enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your chart. So this could be a person who has a leadership position in life. Hold on. Yes, as I said, it could be someone here who has a leadership position in life. But if it's not that, they have that benevolence. They are enlightened. That's probably what's good I like about the king. He is enlightened. He's a leader. What does it mean to be a leader? It's not the same as being a boss. Well, boss mode. To be a leader is someone who knows how to conduct themselves, very reflective. That's the enlightenedness here, right? It's not someone who wants to rule. So yes, they may be in a position of power. They don't have to, but they have leadership qualities. They have grace, dignity. You know, they earn respect for who they are. People could be inspired by them. That's the leadership qualities. It's someone who can reflect upon themselves. They have high ethics. They know how to argue their case. They have their moral philosophy intact, right? But they will still be able to debate with you. They are very intelligent, so you will like that, right? And that gives them these leadership qualities. They're benevolent. Good conversation, anyway. And then we have the alchemist. They have that capacity to transform base motives and goals into golden wisdom. As I said, they're fucking smart, which basically means that you will have good conversation. And they are very inspiring. I really get that you will really like them. You know, it's respect. I now know I'm talking to Aquarius. You will respect them. They will have your respect for what they do, but not so much because of, you know, it's about what they do for a living in terms of how they make money. It's because of how they conduct themselves. The way that they set goals and turn it into action to achieve something, whether or not that is, I don't know, setting up a garden. You know, it's just, you know, small things. They just, when they say they will do something, they do it. And they plan, and they treat people with respect. So they have your respect. And that's important. This is something I can sense the Aquarian going, yes. This is really good. This is good. good conversation there. And Sagittarian, I mean, I'm sitting here going, yes, maybe I'm an Aquarian. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. This is a leader. This is someone who can think outside themselves. Someone who can literally also, I'm not joking, this is a leader. This is, I mean, do these people exist? They can do shit they don't want to do. They can show up, I mean, they can admit to themselves that they don't want to show up in that soup kitchen, but they will still do it. And they're not doing it because to gain some kind of a, good karma. It's just, if they have to, they will do it. They can think outside themselves. And that is what gives them this benevolent character about them, right? And that is also what I get, that you respect. They probably have some skills about them that they know are of benefit to certain situations, and even if they don't want to go there, they will do it. It's, let's say that let's go. All right, I was going to go deep. Right, the doctor example, right? You're a doctor, but you're on holiday, but you still have those skills of being a doctor, and you're on holiday. You don't want to be bothered. Basically, you want to just be left in peace. But if there's an emergency here, and your skills are called for, they will do it. I don't know if they sign, in moral contract to do so, but you know what I'm talking about, right? It's about it's not. They were there, and because their skills were needed, they will do it. They hold the door for people when they go out. They have grace that way. What you will not like so much about them is that they pursue pleasure to the detriment of health. They may like food. They may like sex. They may like sex. They may be very earthy in that manner. Yep, they may, even though they have all these good stuff going there, right? They may, need a little alarm clock on the refrigerator. Not to say that they're going to be fat or anything, but they definitely have this pleasureness. They are very earthy. They are very sensual. That may annoy you. Yes. Oh, they may be a smoker or something like that. They have, of course they have a shadow side. They have things about them that people will not see, which is that, I don't know, it could be smoking, it could, I don't know, just, bad eating habit, or some sort, I mean, they could be very, very sexual. They have something that can be self-sabotaging for themselves, right? And they could have to do, they could actually be a smoker. Or, I mean, we have hedonist, addict, saboteur when we look at what's behind them here, right? They can, first and foremost, they have self-destructive habits sometimes. And that can be basically anything. It may be that maybe they shop too much, or they bad sleeping pattern. There's something about them, their health. All right, maybe they work too much. There's something about them on their health. They could be workaholic or smoking. Something there, which you would probably talk to them about. So. They could probably do with a little, help in terms of taking care of themselves sometimes. Smoking, or Taurus, eat cake or something like that. All right, so we are now on to. It's not the end of the world, Aquarius. Don't worry, it's not the end of the world. It's just. Some of you, it's just that they are very they have really sexual, right? Or something like that. So now we have Pisces. next one you will be in a relationship with Pisces. Single Pisces here. Show me the next one you will be in a relationship with here, Pisces. Next one you will be in a relationship with Pisces. Alright. Pisces. The gambler. What do you have for the Pisces? The next one you will be in a relationship with Pisces. We have companion. And we have a gambler. And we have a pioneer. Okay. And father? Alright, let's get to it. What I have done here is that I have pulled out a free card to begin with, which speaks about, you know, the awesomeness about this person here, and then one shadow, because there will always be a shadow, right? There's always going to be something about a person which we adapt to. Not that it's about, you know, a negativity that destroys a relationship or anything like that. No, it's just one of those, you know, that which creates a little bit tension we grow together with. So we have companion, gambler, and pioneer. This is awesome. This is someone who's very loyal. Oh my god, Pisces. So you're getting a companion, you're getting a best friend. Someone who has the capacity to be your best friend. They will not betray you. They will not misuse your confidence. They know who they are. They are loyal, they have a strong tenacity, and they are unselfish. This is the best friend. You're getting your best friend. They have the gambler in them. They are willing to follow their own intuition, Pisces. They will follow their own intuition even when other people doubt them. So they believe in themselves. And that's also what gives them this. They are your best friends, but they are also independent. They don't lose themselves into you, right? They have their own independence. They come together with you as a whole person. That's basically the best thing you can ask for. Oh, fuck. They are also a pioneer. They have a passion for doing and creating what has never been done before. They are very innovative. They're innovative, they take chances. And they have this lightness about them that makes them a good friend. Basically, you scored gold. Personal opinion, of course, but I look at this and I'm like, that's a winner, Pisces. Person who rests in themselves. They rest in themselves. They are loyal. They are strong. They will not leave you. They will not betray your confidence. And they want to move forward. They have that, you know, they are not stagnant. They are always creating new stuff. I mean, this is probably the best one of them all. What's not so positive about them here is that they have the father. Dictatorial control, abuse of authority. For some of you, it could be that they actually have children. That they are a father. Or that they remind you of your father. They have the father energy. They can support life. They can be positive guiding light within a tribe. But they can also feel very dominating. That's also, for some of you, yes, is that they are themselves a father. They have children with them. Does that mean that we're not supposed to say, oh, that's a negative? No, I'm just saying for someone who, for instance, do not have children, and then you start dating a single parent, doesn't mean that you don't want to be with them. It just means that, okay, then you would have to adjust differently, right? That may create tension when you add children to the mix. It does not mean that it's a negativity at all. It's just something that can create tension. Not a bad tension. It's just that is one of those situations where you have to build around it. For instance, you can't just leave on romantic getaways because you feel like it if you were, coming together without children. If there's children involved, then you have different sets of responsibilities, right? You date someone with different sets of responsibilities. That could be for some of you. For some of you here, I am getting yes that they can have this. I get as though they have a very dominant presence. They could remind you of your father. Or the Saturn energy. They set boundaries. there's something about the father energy. I also got another one, seeker here, is that the inability to commit to a path once found. Dictatorial. The father means something different in this deck. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I got. I was just looking it up because the father, normally no father is very complex energy. In particular because this deck splits up those energies, right? Here with the father is that they are so very protective and guidant. They want to guide. They want to protect you. But that energy in them can feel very dominating, is what I'm getting. They have that strong masculinity in them. So their desire to guide you can feel as though they are sometimes you can feel as though they are imposing themselves on you. Remember, this is your experience of it. You should probably have said that to all the zodiac signs, that this is your experience of it. Are they going to be that way? It really depends, because I'm questioning when I look at these here, right? I look at these companion, gambler, and pioneer. They do not really align, but I'm not going to say that they don't have it. It's just, I get here that the two of you might have to work around possibly your sense of independence, right? It's also, by the way, I also get that sometimes they are not there. Is that they give us a lot of guidance. See, that's what I'm getting here. They give a lot of, they are very protective of you. And then they are there. But then when they are there, they really have a strong presence. They are really, they take up a lot of space. The energies, right? But because they have this pioneer and gambler about them, which makes them, they're searching, right? They are breaking something down. So they can also be distant sometimes. I feel as though they can be a little, for you in your experience, a little unreliability. They are exciting, but when they're there, they have a strong presence. And then when they are not really feel as though you may not know if they are committed to you or not, even though they show up as though they are. Absolutely, you can feel as though that protectiveness about them also lacking when they are not there. You understand? It's actually a funny energy here. It's a fun energy because to me it doesn't show up as though they are I'm just gonna say Pisces, right? I don't pick up on it being that it's because of how can I say it? I pick up on it being because maybe something I just don't pick up